Oh hello there, I'm Professor Hohen. Completing my first Galar solo challenge was a blast, but like so many solo runs, it required me to spam double team to eventually grind out an improbable win. Well, there's no chance of a repeat of that in this challenge video as we attempt to beat Pokemon Sword, but this time with just a Beldum. So, what are the rules? I can only use Beldum for battle. I will however need some HM slaves. Wait, there are no HMs in Gen 8. Perfect. I can't use items in battle. This includes held items, but I am allowed to teach Beldum TMs and TRs. And finally, no glitches or exploits. Our journey starts after getting off the train in the wild area. As with my Roots Only challenge video, I'm unable to get a Beldum until I've progressed the story to this point. Once again, thanks to Bulb, one of my mods and member of my community who helped me to transfer my Beldum egg over. And why hatch an egg and not just send it over using Pokemon Home? Well, by hatching it, I'll be the original trainer, so Beldum will obey me no matter what level it is. And if you've ever seen a challenge video, you'll know that overleveling nearly always happens. And here it is, Alloy, with a raised physical attack and lowered special attack. The perfect nature for this run is, yes, I'm once again going for an attack and speed build. The clear body ability will definitely come in handy this run, especially against prolonged battles where one of the trainer's mons has the Intimidate ability, which would normally lower our attack. And now its moveset. Prior to Gen 8, Beldum's starting move was Takedown, which has been replaced with Tackle. It's not as powerful, but at least we won't hurt ourselves with recoil damage. This is also the only move it will ever learn by level up. As Beldum hatched from an egg, it's only level 1, so we connect to the internet and take on the max raids, netting us plenty of XP candies and watts, which we use to reach level 10, which should be high enough for the upcoming rival battle. We also visit all of the traders and get lucky as one is selling TR-74 Ironhead, an 80 power steel type attack that might flinch the defending Pokemon. You'll be seeing this move a lot in this run, as it's one of just 2 attacking moves Beldum can learn by TM or TR. Oh yeah, you heard that right. Beldum can only learn 3 attacking moves, one of which is Tackle. So that means no double team, substitute or calm mind in this run, folks. So you might be looking at the first ever challenge that I can't complete. If you think we can do it, leave a like. Heck, even if you don't think we can, leave a like anyway and help my channel to reach new people. It's always appreciated. With our setup complete, we register for the Galar League, claiming the number 1, which is where this video will rank in YouTube's trending algorithm. Definitely not, but we can dream. Before we can start our journey, we have to deal with Team Yell, who are causing mischief in the Buderim once more, and the manager still isn't doing anything about it. These battles don't pose a problem even though they use Dark-type Pokemon, as they're such a low level they only have access to normal-type moves like Quick Attack and Tackle, which do very little thanks to our Steel typing, which is resistant to a whopping 10 attack types. And with Motor Stoke wrapped up, yes, I know Hop challenges you on the edge of the city, but when you enter the battle, he seems to have teleported us both to the middle of nowhere. His Wooloo goes down to 2 Ironheads, as it's unable to put us in the yellow despite landing a critical hit. I chose Sobble as our starter, so Hop would choose Scorbunny. This should give us the most difficult rival battles possible. I expect Scorbunny to one-shot us with a Fire-type move here, but I think the AI is taking it easy on us as it spams normal-type attacks for the first 4 moves. Eventually, Hop, being the tactical genius that he is, realises he has the type advantage that everyone seems to rave about in this game, and believes us with just 1 HP. And to be fair, I'm surprised we survived that, but Scorbunny's next attack finishes us off. A few extra levels might even out this fight, but as Ironhead isn't effective against Scorbunny, I'm going to need to increase my attacking options. After a bit of time wandering the wild area, we're able to claim TR Zen Headbutt and teach it to Beldum. It has 80 base power, but only 90% accuracy. However, it also has a 20% chance to make the opponent flinch, and with that, we've taught Beldum every attacking move it can learn. Now 5 levels higher, Wooloo goes down to a single Ironhead. Scorbunny survives Zen Headbutt, and I go for Tackle, thinking it will finish it off. However, Hop has other ideas and heals with a potion, so it survives and then counters with Ember on the next turn, which only does 12 HP of damage. What? I didn't expect that. Another attack is enough to see off Scorbunny. His final Pokemon is Rookidee. It's faster than us, but it has nothing that can damage us, so we wrap up the battle and head to Route 3 where we bump into Sonia. We make our way through Galar Mine 1, which is relatively short and boring. Near the exit we bump into Bede, who is short and boring. Solossis just hangs on from our attack, but we flinch it. Perfect, so a second attack knocks it out. Hatena is his second Pokemon, which survives our first attack and can only muster Round to fight back. Round is a terrible normal type move that doesn't trouble us, so we send it packing with a second attack. His final Pokemon is Gothita, which uses Psybeam, which we quad resist. His team really doesn't have anything against us, does it? We attack again to take it down. We complete the Gym 1 trial and avoid the Yamper and their terrible bites. That's your first hint of what my next challenge video will be. And now it's time for Milo, who leads with Gossifleur. I Dynamax on turn 1 and use Max Steel Spike, raising our defense as it retaliates with Round. What is with all these Pokemon using Round? The second attack knocks out as Milo sends out his Dynamax Eldegoss. It uses Max Overgrowth, which barely does more than Round did. Saying that, it comfortably survives our attack. We trade blows back and forth for several rounds, meaning we both revert back to our normal forms as Eldegoss uses Round 2. Thanks to Beldum's Steel typing, we've shrugged off pretty much any physical attack so far in this run. Eventually Milo realises he's supposed to try and win this battle and switches to Magical Leaf, which does a hefty amount of damage. As we're slower we go second, but we're unable to knock it out. Instead of finishing the battle with another Magical Leaf, like he should probably do, he switches back to Round, so we attack one last time to finish the battle. While continuing our journey, we come across this gentleman who is up to date with the current fashion trends. Remember to wear a mask, folks. Hop's our next hurdle in this challenge as we clash on the big bridge. Yes, nobody could guess that reference in my Rults only video, so I'll continue to do it until someone guesses it. It's a close battle, but we win. Wooloo focuses on using Defense Curl, so we take it out without losing a single digit of HP. Rabbit makes some rather odd move choices, Round once again and then Double Kick, which is neutral, but as Hop uses a Super Potion, he's able to whittle down our HP to just 15. Corvisquire is his final Pokemon, which, like last time, uses Peck to minimal effect. It takes 2 attacks to take it down, so it's able to use Pluck, which doesn't do much more than Peck. I can't help but feel that Hop and Milo's move choices are simply because we're early in the game and it's programmed to just not slaughter us with super effective moves, but we're not going to complain. Over in Hulbury, we bump into Bede, being his usual angsty self, and oh my, who is this? She seems so sweet and polite. She leans into Chairman Rose's ear to whisper an important message. Have you subscribed to this channel? Chances are you're one of the 72% of people who watch my channel videos but aren't subscribed. And I'm going to hold this video hostage until you do your usual YouTube thing and subscribe, and maybe hit that bell icon to be notified when my videos go live. But in all seriousness, I'm only a small YouTuber and every like, comment and share also increases the chance that our challenge videos will be seen by more and more people. So please help me out and let's try to hit 100 subscribers before the end of the year. Okay, now that I've done plugging my channel, it's time to plug up some pipes in the second gym trial. And I forget to heal. Great. We're slower than Goldeen, which lands back-to-back attacks to bring us to less than half our maximum health. Aracuda is Nessa's second Pokemon and uses Bite to bring us to just 2 HP. We're certainly not going to win at this level, even at full health. We're slower, and for once we've encountered Pokemon that aren't relying on using attacks that we resist. We try again every few levels, but it's not until we're 8 levels higher, now level 30, that we make it to her Dreadnought. Wow, look at that strong jaw, and that's your second hint. We Dynamax, but it doesn't bring us any closer to winning. As I learned in my Rults only video, Dreadnought can use Max Darkness, and while it's not a stab move, it is super effective, and so we lose this attempt too. 7 levels later, now 15 more than our first attempt, we get this run. Goldeen is still faster than us, so gets to use Water Pulse, but it doesn't do much damage, and thanks to our increased attack, we're now able to one-shot it. Aracuda is able to use back-to-back bites, thanks to getting lucky and making us flinch, but like Goldeen, a single attack knocks it out. Okay, let's see how we get on against her Dreadnought. It's still faster than us and lands Max Darkness, but thanks to our increased HP, it's not as dangerous as it was previously. We use Max Steel Spike, which does just over half its health worth of damage and raises our defense, so we take less damage from Dreadnought's second Max Darkness. A final attack from Alloy sees off Dreadnought, and with that, we beat Nessa at level 37. We progress through Galar Mine 2, which is dark and depressing compared to Mine number 1. Speaking of dark and depressing, we bump into Bede. Like last time, this battle isn't difficult. We're now a higher level compared to his mons, and each of them go down to a single attack. Easy. We finish this section of the story by beating Team Yell once more, and even though they now have dark attacks, we're able to beat them without too much difficulty, despite Hop being as incompetent as ever. And what was that? I had to double take when writing this script, as I thought my game had bugged out, but randomly Hop's arm just appears on the screen. We head back to the unofficial gym, the Budu Inn, to take on Marnie. Her first 2 Pokemon go down to a single attack each. Morpeko could prove to be a challenge, as Iron Head isn't very effective and Zen Headbutt does nothing. It's also faster, so it's guaranteed to land back-to-back bites, which are super effective. But we get lucky and land a critical hit to take it out with our second attack. In the Motorstoke gym, we take on the trial. You're supposed to catch the Pokemon here to earn points and progress, but I find it easier to just one-shot the Vulpix and Litwick, clearing the way to challenge Kabu. As Beldum has the Steel typing, this is a terrible matchup for us. Ninetales is out first, and despite us being 13 levels higher, it outspeeds us and burns us. If you didn't know, the burn status effect also cuts your attack in half. This bypasses our clear body ability, so not only are we stuck taking damage at the end of every turn, but we no longer inflict enough damage to take out Kabu's Pokemon in a single attack. Heck, even 2 attacks isn't enough. On our first attempt, we are able to make it past Ninetales, but by the time we do, we've already lost too much HP to even stand a chance against his Arcanine, which only needs to use a single Flame Wheel to finish this gym attempt. I'll try again, this time Dynamaxing and looking out by avoiding the burn. We take down both Ninetales and Arcanine with a single G-Max Mindstorm. Kabu's final Pokemon is Center Scorch, which is faster, so gets to use G-Max Centinferno. We survive, but only because we're Dynamaxed. We hit back with G-Max Mindstorm, and even with Psychic Terrain set up, the same attack type bonus and being 11 levels higher, our attack doesn't even put it into the red. And with all 3 Dynamax moves used up, we revert to our normal form and Kabu finishes us off. Even with that near perfect run, it wasn't enough. To win, we would need to land a critical hit against this last Pokemon, which isn't likely to happen. I don't fancy my odds of avoiding Will-O-Wisp and landing a critical hit on Center Scorch. It makes better sense to use my time to grind and gain effort values. I try again at level 42. We once again make it to Kabu's final Pokemon, but get burnt in the process. We lose, but not before finding out that our grinding means we're now faster than Kabu's final Pokemon. Apparently, most trainers don't make it past Kabu. I don't think it's the difficulty, but the fact that you have to watch this damn cutscene every single time. You want to try and beat him. Try and guess in the comments how many times you think I tried and failed. It's not until level 48 that we win. It turns out that reducing the local Delibird population has paid off, as we're now faster than Ninetales. We connect with Zen Headbutt to take it down in a single attack. Arcanine is out next. Again, I'm faster, so I use Max Mindstorm, setting up the Psychic Terrain in the process. And to my surprise, his Center Scorch also goes down to a single attack. Then again, I am 21 levels higher than it. With that, Hop tells us we can cross this wooden and stiff bridge to progress. Speaking of being wooden and stiff, no, not like that. Here's Bede. I'll leave you two to it. We make it to Hammerlock, where the bricks are dense and dull. Speaking of being dense and dull, Bede is... Oh, hold on. How did you beat me here? Hop must have lost in record time. Rose explains how the YouTube algorithm works. If I understand it, the likes enter here, which are powered to this thingy, some magic happens, and the video is delivered to more people in the big cities. See? Simple. All you have to do is leave a like. In Stow-on-Side, we come across Hop. Again. His first Pokemon is Cramorant. I start with Ironhead, which it survives. I really do need to swat up on my Pokemon typings, especially as I have a cage lock coming up on my Let's Play channel. This mistake means Cramorant is able to use Dive, and then paralyze us when we knock it out, thanks to its ability and the Pikachu. But despite that, we're able to take down Silicobra with just one attack. I expected to lose against Raboot, but it opts to use Double Kick rather than a Fire move, as we overcome paralysis to knock it out. His final Pokemon is Toxel. We missed 2 turns because of the paralysis, but as it uses Flail, we're not in any danger. Eventually, we're able to land Zen Headbutt to finish Hop off. Bay is up next. It takes just one Zen Headbutt to take down Hitmontop. Pangoro is part Dark type, so we have to use Iron Head. We're not strong enough to knock it out with a single attack, so it retaliates with Night Slash, nearly bringing us into the yellow. The second Iron Head knocks it out. Surfetch is her third Pokemon, and we Dynamax to take it out with a single Max Mindstorm. At least that would have been the case if it didn't decide to use Detect, reducing the damage we do, so we have to use our second Dynamax attack to take it down. Not ideal, but at least we've set up the Psychic Terrain. But in the end, it takes just one attack to knock out a Gigantamax Machamp. With that done, we're halfway through this challenge. At the top of Stow-on-Side is this childish painting. Speaking of childish, oh, hey there, Bede. He's obviously sick of our insults and so challenges us. I say challenge, but he's a complete pushover. We finish the battle without taking any damage as we use Iron Tail to one-shot each of his mons. Okay, time for the 5th gym. Galarian Weezing is part poison, so it has no chance of surviving a super effective Zen Headbutt. Mawile is part fairy and steel, so Iron Head only inflicts neutral damage, but as it decides to use Iron Defense, a second attack takes it down and we don't take any damage. Her third Pokemon is Togekiss, so I Dynamax and take it down with a Max Steel Spike. Outlast is the Gigantamaxed Alchemy, and a single attack is more than enough to knock it out too. What a refreshingly easy battle. Sweet. Get it? Sweet. Sweet. Back in Hammerlock, things are kicking off as an explosion brings our adventure to a halt. We work with Sonia and Leon too. Oh, you don't want our help? But, okay. Bye then. Forever alone. Oh, Hop. Sorry, I'm busy. Hop has switched up his team yet again and actually makes some decent move choices. The tactical genius. Cinderace now has Pyro Ball, which takes us down from full health with just one attack. A few attempts later and the best we can do is get to Heatmor, another fire type Pokemon. As it takes more than one attack to knock out each of his mons, it's probably better to come back when we're a higher level. When we do finally beat Hop, it's because of some fantastic luck. A single Iron Head sees off Trevenant. Cinderace uses agility. Even though it's faster than us, it survives our attack as Hop uses a Hyper Potion, but our second attack takes it down. One Zen Headbutt is enough to take down Heatmor. Bolt Thunder's faster and lands Crunch. That is your third and final hint as to what the next challenge video is going to be, as we miss our counter attack. The second Crunch brings us close to fainting as we thankfully connect with Zen Headbutt on our second attempt to knock it out. Outlasts Snorlax, whose fantastic defense stat means it survives Iron Head, but we get insanely lucky as it flinches, so another attack causes it to faint. Geordie is the next milestone in this challenge, and because he uses Rock-type Pokemon, we have an advantage. Barbaracle survives Iron Head, but uses Shell Smash. Smell Smash. Smell Smash. Barbaracle survives Iron Head, but uses Shell Smash. I don't care if that sounds weird, okay? I've spent 5 minutes trying to say uses Shell Smash. It's impossible. Which changes its stats. On the next turn, it's now faster and uses Razor Shell to take a good chunk of our health before we can knock it out. Shuckler's out next, but we send it packing with a single attack. Out third is Stonjourner, which takes 2 Iron Heads to take down as it sets up Wonder Room. Outlast is Colossal. I'm not sure if we can win this thanks to Barbaracle's Razor Shell. We Dynamax and use Max Steel Spike, but it survives even though we landed a critical hit. It counters with a Max Flare, which is physical because it replaces the move Heat Crash. That means we probably only survived thanks to the defense boost we got because of Max Steel Spike. One more attack seals the win. Geordie refuses to let go of my hand, staring into my eyes. The crowd grows tense. Leaning in, he whispers, "Have you subscribed yet, punk?" We unravel the ancient mysteries of Bob, you majestic stallion, and then tackle the rival battle with Hop. Even though Alloy is 20 levels higher than his Cinderace, we're unable to win. For the usual reasons, of course. It's faster and has Pyro Ball, which knocks us out with a single hit. But we have a plan. Beldum has one move left to learn, Iron Defense. This move raises its defense by 2 stages, and as Cinderace isn't Hop's first Pokemon, it gives us time to set up. And it works! Pyro Ball doesn't KO us, but it burns us. With our attack now halved, we have no chance to win. But in the end, it didn't even matter. On my follow-up attempts, we're able to make it past Cinderace, but at our current level, we don't have enough HP or enough attack power to comfortably get through the rest of his team. We use some XP candies to go from level 61 to 65. We set up against his double before taking it out. This does mean we take 3 turns of damage from its attacks and the hail, but it pays off as we comfortably survive the Pyro Ball and connect with a critical Zen Headbutt to knock out the Cinderace. Snorlax is out third, and anything less than a critical hit was never going to take it down in a single attack, so it uses Crunch. But as it's physical, we soak up the damage thanks to our increased defense. A second attack takes it down. Pinchurchin comes out next, and we connect with Zen Headbutt to knock it out. His final Pokemon is Corviknight, a terrible matchup for us as it resists both our Psychic and Steel attacks, so all we can do is attack. We connect with Iron Head, which doesn't do a lot, but we make it flinch. His second attack brings it into the yellow, and we get extremely lucky as it uses Pluck, which does a pathetic 3 HP of damage. In previous runs that I got to this part of the battle, Corviknight went for stronger moves which knocked us out, so we got lucky on this attempt and are able to beat his final Pokemon, winning this rival fight. Progressing the story, we deal with Team Yell, who are refusing to social distance. Remember folks, wear a mask. Before we can tackle the 7th gym, Marnie challenges us to a battle. This is a terrible matchup for us, but we scrape through. Our tactic is simple, we just mash the A button to attack over and over again with Iron Head, except for the Toxicroak that has a 4 times weakness to Psychic, so we switch to Zen Headbutt. Morpeko opts for Torment, so we get a free attack, but as it's quicker, it gets to use Bite the following turn, and we survive with just 1 HP. We can't use the same move 2 turns in a row, and as it's immune to Psychic attacks, we have to use Tackle for just the 2nd time in this run. In the 7th gym, Piers wrecks us. It's as simple as that. It's not even a fair fight. Even with our level advantage, it takes just 2 attacks to overwhelm Alloy. I switched to the same tactics that I used to beat Hop, setting up Iron Defense, and even with some insane luck and causing his Pokemon to flinch, we fall just short and lose to his final Pokemon. I'll need to grind, as I don't think I'll be increasing the amount of flinches I did in my last attempt. Before I do, I check my stats and are surprised to find out we've already maxed out our speed. So I focus on increasing my attack, but before I do, I use stat lowering berries for everything other than speed and attack. And here's the result, we're now level 72 and we have maxed out attack and speed with the remaining givers put into our HP. So with every move we can learn and maxed out stats, the only way we can hope to beat this challenge if we run into another issue is to hit level 100. At level 76 we set up 3 iron defences, boosting our defence to the maximum possible. We take a beating doing so, but it pays off in the long run. We go on the offensive after. Scrafty and Malamar both go down to single iron head. Obstagoon takes 3 attacks to bring down, so it gets a couple of attacks in. We're weak to Shadow Claw, but as it's physical and not stab, it doesn't do much. Skuntank is out last, and like his first 2 Pokemon, a single Iron Head is all it takes to knock it out. Its ability Aftermath kicks in, but we just hang on, claiming our win over Piers. There's just one gym leader left, Ryan. This is a double battle, so I bring a level 1 Beldum to the battle and waste its turn by attacking Alloy. I prioritise knocking out the Gigalith with a single Iron Head as Flygon goes first, taking down our spare Beldum with Crunch. Talk about overkill. On the next round, Flygon switches to Breaking Swipe, which doesn't do a lot of damage as we retaliate with Iron Head, which is all it takes to send it packing. The single attack also takes down the Sandaconda, but not before it uses Glare. With just 2 of his Pokemon left, I Dynamax Beldum. We're now slower thanks to Sandaconda paralysing us, so we'll need the extra HP to survive. His Gigantamax Duraludon uses Max Knuckle, and Sandaconda uses Earth Power, but we comfortably tank it and overcome paralysis to take down the Sandaconda. We trade attacks until we both revert to our normal forms, but Duraludon has a terrible moveset for this battle, so we're able to take it down and claim the final badge. Okay, time for the tournament. Marnie's up first, and she starts with Liepard. Like last time, we have to rely on Iron Head, but even with our maxed out speed, we're still slower and get hit by Snarl. Next out is Scrafty. We go first this time, landing Iron Head, but it's not enough to take it down, as our attack isn't strong enough. But Scrafty helps us with that, raising our attack with Swagger. Oh, and it confuses us too. Marnie heals with a full restore on the next turn as we hit ourselves in confusion. This isn't looking good. On the next turn, we snap out of confusion to take down Scrafty. Her third Pokemon is Toxicroak, and while we have the type advantage, Zen Headbutt isn't guaranteed to land as it's only 90% accuracy. So, I Dynamax, and with our increased attack, we knock out all 3 of her remaining Pokemon with max attacks, including her Gigantamax Grimmsnarl. Hop actually won a match to progress this far. Let's fix that. I start with the same tactics as last time, using Iron Defense. Annoyingly, Double paralyses us with Body Slam. It takes a few attacks to knock it out as Hop uses a full restore, but I'm amazed by how little health we lost. Snorlax is up next and we miss our turn because of the paralysis as it uses high horsepower, but we tank that too. On the next turn, we land Iron Head, causing it to flinch. A follow-up attack takes it down. Pinchurchin is out third and a single headbutt knocks it out. Hop's 4th Pokemon is Corviknight, and this takes forever. Between missing attacks and the paralysis, it takes several turns until we're finally able to knock it out. But not before it confuses us with Swagger. His starter is out last and we both Dynamax. Cinderace hits us with Max Flare, but with our increased defense and HP, we eat it. And a good job too, as we hit ourselves thanks to confusion, and so we get the brunt of a second Max Flare. But our next turn, we snap out of our confusion to end Hop's stream with a Max Mindstorm. Time for Rose Tower, which isn't difficult, just time consuming because of Hop's over-reliance on his double against the Steel Pokemon. You have a Cinderace, use it! We eventually reach Rose's Penthouse Suite, only to lose to Elena on our first attempt as her Froslass lands Will-O-Wisp. This proves to be the only thing stopping us from winning, as on our next attempt she misses it and we carry with Froslass and Salazzle both with a single hit. Belotic takes 2 attacks and her final 2 Pokemon both go down to a single Max Mindstorm each. Easy. With that wrapped up, it's time for the finals. Before we can challenge the champion, we have to take on the gym leaders again. How boring. Speaking of boring, oh look, it's Bede. As a fairy type gym leader, this battle is an easy sweep as we just spam Iron Head. And I've just realised, how is this tournament supposed to take place with 9 players, your character and the 8 gym leaders? The only reason we have an even 8 is because of Bede's antics. Was this section a last minute addition to pad out the runtime maybe? Either way, I like Bede's arc in this game. Okay, Nessa time. This battle is difficult for exactly the same reason as the first time we faced her. Her team is quicker and her Dreadnought has max darkness. It only takes 2 attempts to win, but it's close. It would have been a much more comfortable battle if we had hit level 100, but I want to complete each part of this challenge at the lowest level possible. Bay's up next, we win, and looking at our HP, you might think it was another close battle. But the only reason we had so little HP at the end is because we miss our first Zen Headbutt against her Hawlucha, which is faster than us and hits hard. Other than that, we sweep her team with Zen Headbutt and Max Mindstorm. Ryan is out last, and on our first attempt, we hit a stalemate with Turtonator, which does nothing but spam Shell Trap, as I just tried to wake up as a result of Raihan's first Pokemon putting us to sleep with Yawn. A few turns later we wake up and are back in action, only to lose as it counters with Shell Trap, one-shotting us. On our second attempt, the battle goes exactly the same. I knock out Torkoal, who puts us to sleep with Yawn. Turtonator once again only uses Shell Trap, so I waste my turns until I wake up and then set up 3 iron defences. I can't rely on a normal attack, so I Dynamax. Our powered up Max Mindstorm is strong enough to knock it out, avoiding the counter damage from Shell Trap. His third Pokemon Flygon and fourth Pokemon Goodra also go down to a single attack each. His final Pokemon is Duraludon, and by this point we've reverted back to our normal form as it Gigantamaxes. But this is nowhere near as bad as it sounds, as it has a terrible physical moveset. It's that bad that even after 3 max attacks we're still in the green, and after 5 minutes of trading blows, we win. Rose is causing mayhem, and with the fate of the world in the balance, I, for whatever reason, decided it's the perfect time to show Leon my Pokedex, which isn't getting filled up, unlike Hop and Leon's mum. Leon? It was a joke! It was a joke! Okay, Rose is up next. Can you guess my tactics? None of the nonsense from my Rults video. We set up 3 iron defences before whittling down Escavalier's HP to win, only for Berserker to wipe the floor with us with Throat Chop. It's obvious this is a terrible matchup for us thanks to his Pokemon Steel typing, which resists all 3 of our attacking moves. I try again at level 90 and make it to his final Pokemon, but by this point we've been taking a thrashing, so a single Max Quake ends our run. So that means only one thing for it. That's right, level 100, here we come. There's nothing else we can do. Instead of focusing on defense, I go on the offensive, flinching Escavalier with our first Iron Head and then knocking it out with a second. No luck against the Berserker though, as it retaliates with Throat Chop, taking off a third of our health. The second attack takes it out. His third Pokemon is Klinklang, which like Escavalier flinches and so goes down without any issues. Rose sends out Ferrothorn, and our next 2 attacks both cause it to flinch as we bring it into the red. What are the chances? One final attack sees it off. Against his Gigantamax Copperaja, we switch to Max Mindstorm, which doesn't even bring it to the halfway mark, but we're able to set up the Psychic Terrain. Copperaja hits hard with Max Quake, and we survive with just 22 HP. Our next attack is enough to finish it off and beat Rose. Honestly, looking back writing this script, I think the challenge could have easily ended there. We got extremely lucky with the amount of flinches we got in that run. If we had one less flinch, we would have lost there. Maybe would have won anyway with Iron Defense, but I'm not sure. We complete the Eternatus plot, and with that, there's just one task left. Let's see if we can beat Leon. This is it. He sends out Aegislash, which starts with back-to-back King's Shields. Eventually, we land Iron Head as it switches to its blade form to take off 2/3 of our health. The second Iron Head takes it down, but as you can imagine, we don't have enough HP to get past his next Pokemon, let alone his entire team. So, what now? Well, I spend the next 2 days tweaking my stats with a mix of vitamins and stat-lowering berries to reduce my attack and speed and increase my special defense, and we still lose. I continue to tweak and change alloy stats, further reducing our attack and speed and increasing my defense. Eventually we get this run. We get amazing flinch luck to take down Aegislash while only taking a tiny bit of damage from Sacred Sword. Haxorus uses Earthquake, but it does a lot less damage than our first attempt. But as we can't one-shot it, it gets to use it again, bringing us to less than 100 HP. His third Pokemon is Rhyperior, and Iron Head doesn't one-shot it either, but we get insanely lucky and make it flinch, so another attack takes it down. Rillaboom is out next, and knowing I'm running out of HP, and with 3 Pokemon left, I Dynamax, landing Max Steel Spike as it wastes its turn with Endeavour. Annoyingly, Rillaboom just hangs on and hits back with Endeavour, which does hurt us this time as we knock it out. Dragapult is sent out next, and there's no way we're outspeeding this thing as it lands Shadow Ball, putting us on death's door as we take it out with a critical Max Mindstorm. But this means we've used all 3 Dynamax moves, so his Gigantamax Charizard finishes this run for us. I've already hit level 100 and EV trained, and because of Beldum's limited moveset, there's nothing more we can try. I even checked Alloy's IVs. It has 5 perfect IVs, with only speed being the one near perfect IV. Even with a speed boosting nature and perfect speed EV, I don't think we're going to outspeed his Dragapult, so we would need some near perfect luck against the rest of his team. Basically, we would need to flinch or land a critical hit every attack, and that's it. Sorry folks, but you can't win them all. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, then click here to watch another challenge video, or here to watch the full solo challenge playlist. For my next challenge video, I'm going to revisit Galar once more, but this time it won't be a solo challenge, so subscribe and ding that bell icon to be notified of when it goes live. Until next time, remember to flex your inner geek. See ya!